All right, Tristan, I'm an alcoholic. A little nervous, but needless to say, man, it's really nice to be here tonight. Getting out of Samaritan Colony a little less than a year ago, all this stuff seemed so far away. I was struggling bad, more mentally than anything. I was beat down pretty bad when I got in here, but everybody welcomed me when I got here, and it's like a family in here, so this is really, truly a blessing. First off, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to be here tonight, and I just hope somebody gets something out of this, man. So my sobriety date is January 23rd, 2023, so I just picked my year up Tuesday, so I thought I was going to have a little bit of time. I know you got to have a year before you tell your story, but this was lined up like before Christmas, so it pretty much got to it. So, but needless to say, I'm willing and I'm here. I have a sponsor. My sponsor has a sponsor. I love my sponsorship line. We take working with other men very seriously. That's what we do. If we don't do anything else, when we work through the steps, we give it to another man and we work with them. A lot of stuff's going on in this building that has helped me grow spiritually, like just stuff like doing the third step prayer with my sponsor on my knees back there in that room, and praying for each other, and him showing me what I needed to do to stay sober and stay spiritually fit. But so born and raised in Rockingham, North Carolina. A little ways down the road there, and nothing crazy as a child. I mean, pretty much, a normal childhood, and it wasn't nothing crazy going on. I was raised by a single mom, and pretty much my whole life, that's how it was. I do have an older brother, but he got into a little bit of trouble, so he moved away, and we didn't really have a relationship till later on in life. But growing up, I always remember being standoffish, kind of quiet, stick to myself, which, today I try to work on that, but I'm kind of like that today as well. But as a kid, I always remember being kind of different, or like less than, or, just not as good as other kids or whatever. But I stuck to myself, played sports a lot, and growing up didn't really get into too much trouble as a young man. But when I first turned into a teenager, probably around 13, 14, I started smoking weed, started drinking, and these are the things that immediately it took my life over. It wasn't like it was something that I loved it, so I fell in love with it, and it was something I wanted, and it was something I did on a daily basis from that young of an age, and I really couldn't picture my life without it, because it helped me to deal with life on life's terms. And looking back on it, it was my safe haven, and it became the norm, and that's just what I did. And so I was real heavy into baseball. I played baseball all the way up to high school, and then I remember when I was in the 10th grade, I got into a pretty bad car wreck with the guy that we were on the way to school, and the guy that hit us, he actually passed away. He was an older gentleman. He ended up dying in the car wreck. But needless to say, that's when I got introduced to opiates. I think I was 15 maybe, and similar to marijuana and alcohol, I fell in love with it, and it was something that I wanted. But at that age, I didn't know anybody who had it or to seek it out. I was scared to seek it out, but later on in my story, I'll get more into that because I definitely found it. But so just getting through high school, I could tell a transition where my friend group changed. I was no longer the kid that brought his books home to school or whatever, anything like that. I was the guy that was skipping school, and I was the guy that was, getting high and drunk before school every day. So 10th, 11th, 12th grade was pretty much a blur. It was me doing what I was doing, and it was fun at the time. Yeah, I remember it being my choice to do that. I remember wanting to do those things, and wanting to black out, and wanting to forget things, and just wanting to live that life. So, and that's what I did, and I did that on a day-to-day basis. And I didn't have a home where I had a curfew. I didn't have no curfew. I didn't have nobody to tell me what to do. So I was pretty much, I did what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And I took full advantage of it. Somehow I didn't get into too much trouble during those years in high school. But needless to say, grades dropped, quit playing sports, started hanging out with older kids. All those kids at my school, I just didn't, they wasn't doing what I was doing. And we were friends before, but we just wasn't on the same page at that time. So they didn't want to be around me, and I really didn't want to be around them because they weren't doing what I was doing, you know. So somehow I made it through high school, and I graduated. I think they just wanted to push me out the door, to be honest with you. So I got through that, and when I turned 18, life hit me. I didn't have those kind of skills to survive. They would just say school's over, you got to get a job. So, and that's what I did. And so I started working at. It's funny, I started working down here in at Par 3 Car Wash, and I worked there for like 6-7 years. And that's when I found those opiates that I ran across when I was 15 when I got in that car wreck. And it started to build from there. I started stealing. I started doing whatever was necessary to get those because the pain without them after you take them for a while was pretty harsh. I mean, I couldn't wake up with them. Hell, I couldn't even go to sleep if I didn't know I could roll over and have some in the morning. And so I tried to keep them, and I did keep them. And I did that for quite a bit, for a long time, years, 4 or 5 years. If you came to that car wash, I'm digging through your car. I mean, that's all there was to it. I'm trying to get anything I can get. Change, it don't matter. It don't matter what it is. Jewelry. I knew the cameras were cut off. I knew they wasn't recording. They were there, but they wasn't recording. And I knew that. And countless amount of people would come back up there and say something got stolen out of my car. And I knew I was in the clear because there was no proof. I'd steal it, go hide it, and get it at the end of the day. And go get high. That's what I would do. And so that went on for a while, stealing. Obviously couldn't maintain that job as well as others that I'll get into. So I'd say probably around 2005, I ended up moving to Gainesville, Florida, thinking that Rockingham was the problem and it wasn't me. And so a guy came through, he was one of my old buddy's cousins, and he came through and he was like, hell man, I'm going back to Florida, you trying to go? I was like, hell yeah. So packed a bag, jumped in the car, and I'm on probation at the time. So I was having to take the Amtrak train. It drops you off in Hamlet there, and I was having to take the train back on a monthly basis to see my probation officer for a while. But I made that work for a little bit, and then that's when the drinking and the drugs really took over for me. They had some stuff going on down there at the doctor's offices in Florida, and they pretty much, I found out you didn't really have to have a hurt back or a hurt neck to get a prescription, and I would tell all my friends about it from up here in Rockingham, and they would come down, and we would get them and take them back, take them back up here, and it ended up putting me in a big time hole with the opiate addiction, and it ended up honestly being the worst thing I've ever felt in my life. The pain was so unbearable coming off of them that I tried numerous times. I'd say this would be the last time, and I'd fight it for a couple days, on the couch trying to beat it, and I just couldn't do it, man. When they say powerless or they say life being unmanageable, I was the pure definition of that. So I'd keep trying. I'd do it for a little bit, get to the point to where I mentally couldn't take it anymore, and at certain points, just didn't want to live, but I couldn't do nothing about it. I didn't have the courage or the strength to do anything about it, and I just kept pushing, man. I kept trying. I've tried to not take them only when I go to work. I've tried Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I've tried it all, man. I've literally tried everything that I could think of, and to no avail. I couldn't make it happen on my own, and so that continued on for a while, and that landed me in Samaritan Colony in 2010. I was coming off of the opiates, and I tried to get help through methadone clinic or Suboxone clinic, things of that nature, and I couldn't get any. I just couldn't stop on my own, and that's just all there was to it. And so I got to Samaritan Colony, and I remember feeling at peace in there, and still I missed the whole program aspect of it in there, but I did catch on to the peaceful feeling that Samaritan Colony offers, and I know there's a lot of guys in here that's been through there, and they know what I'm talking about. It was a true blessing to go through there. When I got out, I didn't do nothing they told me to do. They told me to do 90 and 90 and get a sponsor, and they told me to go to a halfway house, and I didn't do any of them. So I went, we had moved to Anson County for a little bit when I got out of there, and I went probably about 30 days, something like that. I didn't go to no meetings. I thought I had it, I didn't know it was a, I didn't know I had to work at it. I thought, well, hell, I'm good. I thought the drugs were the problem, and come to find out, I got a problem in my mind that I have to address on a day-to-day basis, and I sure missed that then. But yeah, so going through Samaritan then, it was good. I felt like I got in touch with God there, but that was about it. I didn't take advantage of the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. I definitely didn't start to work those steps. I didn't do anything, honestly. I didn't put any work in because, like I said, I did miss that. So things got worse, and when they say it only gets worse, that's a fact. And for me, my experience is the mental aspect got worse for me. I couldn't deal. It wasn't working anymore. It wasn't fun anymore. My relationships were, I had no productive relationships at all. I had ruined everything. I'd burnt so many bridges. I was trying to hang on to what I could, hang on to what family that would stand to be around me, and the ones that could were, they suffered from the same disease that I have. So those are the ones that would only want to be around me or allow me to come around. So I ended up getting back up with some old friends, and like I said, things got worse. So I had, my son was probably about 4, he was about 4 or 5 at the time, and relationship was kind of, obviously it was non-existent because I was doing what I was doing, and I ended up going to prison, I ended up going to prison for manufacturing methamphetamine. And when the feds picked me up in 2015, it was a big shock. It wasn't like, you go to jail, you're like, yeah, I got a little bond, I'll pay that when I get out. You in there with no bond. You're just waiting on the bus to come pick you up. And I remember being extremely scared, not knowing where I was going to be or not knowing what was going to happen. They actually picked me, my brother, my cousin, and my stepfather up, and it was all the same indictment. And off we went, all separate ways, so they're not going to try not to send your codees with you wherever you go. But I remember getting off the bus, and they sent me to New Jersey. They sent me all the way to New Jersey, and I remember getting off the bus, and it's the first time I ever was looking for the police. I got off the bus, I was like, damn, where's the law at? You know what I'm saying? I remember thinking to myself, damn, somebody might get killed in here, they wouldn't even know it, It was a big prison. It wasn't like the ones on TV. It was 2,500 inmates on each side. So they had an east and a west. This place was huge, man, like a college campus. And I got off the bus, I was like, damn, where's the law? But seriously. But you're all the way up there. So and the reason why I get into it is because prison is a big part of my story. I was in there for a few years. And to be honest with you, it was It was the most peaceful amount of time I've ever had in my life, aside right now. Being in prison was, I didn't get high, I didn't get drunk, and it felt good, man. I know I missed my family, and I know I was away from my kid, and I missed my mom, but I'm telling you, man, I was peaceful. I slept good, and I did that for a few years, and I told myself I would try to be productive. My mindset was right. So I got into this program while I was in there because it knocks a year off of your sentence, and it's called RDAP. It's like a residential drug program. And if you got any kind of history of substance abuse or anything of that nature, they'll let you get in there and try to do the program. It was extensive. It was like a 9-month program. But it was a cognitive program where it focuses on your thinking. And kind of similar to, when we go through the book and we try to address how we think and try to, rationalize things and see what the core of the problem is within yourself. So it kind of related to Alcoholics Anonymous. I didn't know that at the time because I had no idea what Alcoholics Anonymous really was about. But looking back on it now, I can see that the concept was kind of the same. So I did that program, and I got a lot out of it. I got heavy into the Bible. I read the Bible a lot. Tried to stay to myself because, like I said, there wasn't a lot of people like from North Carolina and New Jersey. So I mean, I was kind of out of place. I wasn't. I was just old North Rockingham boy up here in New Jersey by myself. But so I made that happen, man, and I got out, and I had reservations. When I got out, I did all that time, and still, I was like, I ain't gonna do no drugs, but I'm damn sure gonna get me a beer, you know what I mean? So I did that. I did that, and I got out, and I went to the halfway house in Raleigh, did what I needed to do, and then ended up going down to the beach. Long story short, I never met my father in my life. I'm 33 years old, my biological father, and he sends me an email while I'm in prison. And he's like, I want you to come to the beach and live with me. And I'm like, hell yeah, Because, I'm still thinking Rockingham's the problem. So I'm like, anything but there, So yeah, I did that. And plus, I was eager to, see what he had to say. He's been missing my whole life. So I wanted to see, what it was about. And he sent me some money too. So I was like, yeah, I'm on the way. So that happened, man. And the first time I met my father, my biological father, he picked me up from the halfway house in Raleigh from prison and took me down to the beach. So I started working down there and started drinking down there because, I can just drink. Drugs is the problem. Drinking, even though every time I've ever drank, I've got locked up. But so I started working, and I actually started bartending. I had no idea what I was doing when I first started it, but ended up being pretty good at it when I wasn't hammered. But I started bartending down there, making really good money, and getting to know my dad. He's drinking and he's doing things, and hell, I'm doing them with him, and it's all surface stuff. We never really get to. Really deep down, I want to be like, where the hell you been? You know what I mean? But I was just like, I'm a little too old for that. I felt like I was like 33 at the time. I'm not like I'm a kid, you know what I mean? So, and he wasn't offering to say where he's been, so I was like, I guess he don't want to tell me. So, never really brought it up. It was kind of like, it was just weird. But at the time, it wasn't Rockingham, and he had a nice spot, and he had some money, so. I'm down. I'm there, So we did that for a little bit, and I started doing good. Even though I was drinking, I was able to maintain mainly because I was on parole for 3 years. I didn't want to go back to New Jersey for sure. So I made that happen, man, and I kind of slid under there and got off probation and parole. So I finally cut all ties to the feds, and they didn't have nothing hanging over my head. And for the first time in a long time, I ain't have no court dates. I had a license. I didn't have nothing hanging over my head. And I think it was the same day I went and because I was already lining stuff up. I was meeting people, I was lining it up, and I got to it. I mean, as soon as I got off probation, I got to it. And being down there at the beach, it was around when COVID hit, and all the places shut down, and I just remember drinking every day, using every day, heavy, not knowing what's going to happen, and neglecting the fact that my mom was real sick, and she was back in Rockingham, and she ended up passing away in November of 2020, right after Thanksgiving. And I just remember the guilt and the shame for not getting to her and making it work where I could see her a little more, because I was in denial about the fact that she was sick. So she had passed away, and I just remember that was it for me at the point in time right there. That was I was ready to get back to where I was. I remember for the first time not wanting to feel again, and so I did what we do. Found whatever I could find to numb it, and that's what I did. And I did it, and I did it, and I did it hard. And this whole time I'd met Zoe, who I've been with now for 4 years, and when I got out of prison, she was graduating college, so, and I got with her, and she was with me the whole time. But there towards the end, she ended up not being able to take it. I pushed like a wedge so far in between us and our daughter, and she was a newborn at the time, and I don't remember at the time thinking that I was losing it because of my mom, but now looking back at it, I can see that. I had a lot of, like I said, I had a lot of guilt, and I had a lot of fear and shame. So it started getting worse, man. I started, when I was at the beach, and started trying to meet other new people, not people who just drank. I'm trying to find out where the other people at, I'm trying to find out where the people at who for real trying to get after it. And I ended up finding them, and I ended up getting after it. And that ended up, another job loss, another countless job loss. And I always had this knack, man, of right before I know I'm about to get fired, I would always quit, I was always good at that. I did that several times in my life, but ended up just, working for this guy for a year, and I was, cocaine, meth, fentanyl, pills, whatever. It was anything I get my hands on. It didn't matter to me. So I was, and you could see the falling off. I mean, I'm sure he tried to talk to me about it, tried to tell me to stop drinking so much. And I mean, the whole time I'm just stealing and working, never stopped stealing. So Zoe ends up leaving, and she ends up taking our daughter back up to Virginia, where she's originally from. And man, I was down there for a month by myself. And the whole time, she was the only thing that was holding me together. She didn't know it, but she was the only reason that I didn't, that I'm probably here now, honestly, and she has no idea. But yeah, so when she left, I just, it got worse, obviously. She wasn't there to hold me accountable and, things like that. So I get back down. Anyway, long story short, I have some people come pick me up. I get back to Rockingham, and I still got the house and everything. All my stuff's down there. My car's down there. I had a car. I could have drove to Rockingham. I was so high I couldn't even get in the car. So the car stayed. Everything stayed. So I get back, and I go to detox. I have a buddy of mine take me to detox, and this was I think it was the summer of 22. So he takes me to detox. I don't stay in detox. They got me in this chair in there, and I'm coming off these pills, and I'm just like reclined back, kicked back in this chair, and I'm trying to get up there and get on for them to give me something, you know what I mean? Because I just can't handle it anymore. So long story short, I ended up talking the lady into taking me down here to Moore County, the lady that works there. So she dropped me off at the hospital down here. Somehow they won't let me in because I've been so many times to the detox down here at First Health. I guess I was red flagged. So they're like, yeah, you're not getting in here, but we'll let you stay one night here and we'll give you something so you can sleep. So I was like, hell yeah, just do that for me. And so I did that and was supposed to go to back to Samaritan Colony then, and I did not go. What I did was my mind was telling me, you need to get back to your family. You need to get back to your family and make it right. And the whole time I know that wasn't what I was supposed to do. I needed to fix myself, and I needed to address the problem that I had with this disease, and I didn't do it. So I talked Zoe into letting me come up there and get her, and we went back down to the beach. So I drove up there, got her and Stella, drove back to the beach, and the beach was the problem now. So I'm like, yeah, let's get out of here, and let's get our stuff, and let's get out of here, and let's go up there to where your family's at, you know? And we did that. We made the move. And went up there, and it was, she didn't trust me, and there was never any resolve to our problems that I had caused, and it didn't work, man. It didn't work. Hell, I was up there, and there wasn't no time. Hell, the guy downstairs in the apartment had this, the guy down there had this, and I'm back in the bar working. So, it wasn't nothing but a matter of time, man. And the whole time she's telling me, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that, and I'm just like, yeah, and then I still continue to do so, not listening. And the obsession was so bad, and I didn't care to do so. I had to have it, and I went after it. So I got back after about 6 months there. She had enough, and I got a hold of some liquor and blacked out, started throwing stuff off the balcony, and she, I don't remember who it was, one of her mother called the law, which was, when they got there, I just put my hands behind my back. I was like, yeah, let's go. I knew what time it was at that point. And I knew it was coming to an end, like with that job, with that situation. I could always feel it when it's getting there, but I'll ride it out. I won't try to address it or nothing. I'll just ride it out and see what the end is. I want to know what it really is, And I made it out and got on the Amtrak, came back down here, and landed in Samaritan Colony. And about this time last year, I was in the colony, actually. And yeah, man, I was pretty beat this time mentally. Mentally, I was beat up pretty bad from the loss of my mom, and then my relationship with the woman I love, I love dearly, and our kid, and it was bad, man. I didn't have no more fight left in me. So when I got to the colony this time, I think I had a little more willingness to do something about it, and plus, I guess, I don't know if it was my age, because I went to the colony the first time I was in my young 20s. I mean, there wasn't much you could tell me then. But yeah, I was listening. I was paying attention. I was listening. I wanted to really know what was going on, and I wanted to know how to get what them people had. I wanted to know what, all the staff was telling me this, and I remember that feeling I had back in 2010 when I went through there, and I wanted that feeling back, and I wanted to see what else I missed, and I wanted to address it. So I took it serious, man. I did. I started actually looking at the steps and seeing what it was about, and seeing that it was the steps allowed you to take a look at yourself and to address how you think. And then Mark would say things like, if you stay sober, these things will happen, and it's not about the drink or the drug, man. It's about you as a person and how you think is what's controlling what you do, and also the obsession. So I started to believe those things, and I think it was a Wednesday. I had a couple guys come in and speak to the guys at the colony, in the classroom there. It wasn't like a regular meeting, but they'd come in and talk to us. And I remember sitting down and, introducing myself, Tristan, I'm an alcoholic, and they going around, and he goes, Tristan, is that you? And mind you, I don't recognize him at all because he looks completely different. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? And he was like, it's Andy. And I was like, what's up, man? And, so it went into that. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I know good and damn well if it worked for him, that it can work for me. Because I remember, I have a past with Andy, and we ran with some of the same guys, and and I knew what he was about, and he was a completely different person physically, and just completely different. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna ask him to be my sponsor. You know what I mean? I know if he can do it, I can do it. And I did that, man. I did that right then. I'm still in the colony. I was like, yeah, man, I need to get with you after this, because I am going to go up to the halfway house this time, and I do plan on doing these 90 and 90s, and I do plan on getting in the book and doing these things that have been suggested for me to do. And so I did that, man, and I got out the colony feeling good, real nervous. I wasn't sure it was going to work, but I did want to give it a try and see what happened. And so me and Andy get into the book, and we get into the book religiously. We get into it every week. I don't miss it. I call and make sure we're going to get in it every Monday. When I text him, I'll say, we reading tonight, right? After he done told me a couple of days before we reading on Monday, I just wanted to make sure, because I knew if I missed it this time, I was going to die. I was beat up real bad, and I don't have another one in me, man. I'm pushing 40 years old. I just don't got another run, because I went to the colony in 2010. I was missing for 13 years before I finally made it back. I ain't got another run in me. So we got to reading, and he would tell me things like, hey, if you stay sober, man, God's got something for you. And I'd call him with a problem. I'd be like, man, hey, this happened. He's like, hey, did you pray about it? Or he'd say, hey, man, just do AA, things like that. And I'm just like, what the hell is he talking about, man? And I couldn't see it at the time, And today it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. All those little slogans do. They make sense today. And I'm just forever grateful for him as well. He did a lot for me through me identifying with him, and him being patient with me and working with me and taking me through the steps. But yeah, man, we got through them. I got through the steps like right around my 90 and 90. Like, I'm on it, boom, boom, I'm on fire. And I think a couple weeks after that, he calls Mark for me. He says, Mark, hey, I got a guy that if you get somebody coming out of the colony, I want Tristan to sponsor him. And so I did, and I got to work, and I'm I'm still early on in sobriety, but I was real early on in sobriety, and when I started sponsoring another man and taking him through the book, my life started to change, and that's where it was for me. I developed a real good friendship, and he's my best friend today, and things like that is what pushed me through, and it got me through, and just stuff started happening, man. I started getting invited to talk at the prison. I did that. I tried to do anything and everything I could, because I knew that I was trying to get my family back. I was trying to get my family back, and I had all this free time, and I'm working hard, and they're telling me these promises, these 8-step promises, and when I'm making the amends, I got it in the back of my head. I'm like, this is what the book tells me. The book ain't been wrong yet. It ain't been wrong yet. I identify with it. Everything that's in it, I know is a fact, and I know it's me, but it's telling me that all these things will start coming true, and I want to see it. And if it proves itself, which it did, I'll continue on. I don't know what I would have done if it would have let me down, but it didn't. So all these promises started coming true, man, and within a 6-month period, I'm out of the halfway house. Somehow I got my family back down here, and we got a home, and we're living there, and it just happened fast, and all these things started coming true, and I'm still working with guys through the steps. I'm going to church, and I'm trying to enlarge myself spiritually, and today I know who I am, right? I never, looking back on my life, all those years, I never really knew who I was or what my purpose was. But today I wake up and I got a purpose today, and that's to share my experience, strength, and hope, and read with another man, and try to help them, and be a good father, and have healthy relationships, be a good employee. I try to do those things, and Alcoholics Anonymous allows me to do those things. Working the 12 steps allows me to get closer to God and carry this message. So, yeah, man, I wouldn't. My life today is great. It really is. I'm real. I've never been like this before in my life. I'm real go with the flow now. There ain't really much I need. I don't care about money. I don't care about none of that other stuff, man. As long as if it's gonna jeopardize me and my peace, I ain't dealing with it. You got to go, and I protect that peace today, and that's my main purpose, is to protect that peace so I can share it and try to show another man how to get that peace. Because once you get it, you're gonna hold on to it. Because I know the battle, the conflict in my head was so bad for years that I'll do anything to protect my peace, and that means remove people from my life or anything I got to do. And that's why I try to stay in this thing real tough. I try to, when I say I'm gonna read with another man, I try to show up. I try to share what's been given to me, and that's what I do today. And I'm just real grateful, man, to be up here telling my story in this building. Yeah, I mean, God's got a plan for me. He's got a plan for everybody, and I really and truly believe mine is to be a part of Alcoholics Anonymous and work through guys and work with guys through the steps and share that with them and grow with them, and because to see the men light up and to do what my sponsor did with me back there, get on the knees and pray that third step prayer with another man. And to see that man start to grasp the program and things start to happen in their lives and them become grateful, and that's just where it's at for me, dude. And that's what I plan on to keep doing. I'm really and truly grateful to be here, man. I wouldn't trade this life for nothing. That's I might be a little early, man, but that's about all I got. So, all right, thank you.